Okay, so today we're diving into something pretty interesting coming out of Meta.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Zuckerberg's been talking about, the future of Facebook,
Yeah.
um, and really how we connect online,
Mm-hmm.
and we got some good material for this deep dive
Yeah, yeah.
from, Colin and Samir's interview with him.
Right.
You know the one where MrBeast drops in?
Yeah. Mr. Beast crashed the interview, which is always fun.
It's always good, yeah.
And they really kind of got into some interesting stuff.
We went through that whole transcript
Yeah.
on YouTube, and yeah, so we're going to kind of pull out what we think is,
Yeah.
really important and interesting.
The most insightful stuff, yeah.
So really what we're getting at is this whole thing with Zuckerberg talking about bringing back like a dedicated Friends tab
Right,
to Facebook.
right.
And what does that mean?
Yeah.
Why is he doing that?
What's the motivation?
What's the motivation? What's it going to do to...
Yeah, what's it mean for our online interactions,
Yeah.
the creator economy? I mean, it's a pretty fundamental shift.
Huge.
Yeah.
And then what does that even mean
Yeah,
for like the future of the internet?
yeah,
Like where's this all going?
exactly.
Right. So Zuckerberg talks about how Facebook, started as this kind of online directory.
Right.
Right. It was all about local communities
Yeah.
finding each other and, connecting.
Yeah, and it had all these different tools and
Yeah, all these little like utilities and things.
yeah.
And then, what happened was the news feed
Yeah.
just took
Yeah.
over.
It just dominated. It became the whole experience.
Exactly.
Right. And I think we all kind of lived through that.
Yeah.
That was how it went.
Yeah, totally.
But he's pointing out something kind of interesting about that, which is that
Yeah.
all those original features right now.
The ones that were really about like direct interaction,
Yeah.
not just consuming
Right.
content,
Yeah.
they never really got the same kind of attention.
Right. Yeah.
And they weren't really replicated
Yeah.
anywhere else online in a big way.
Yeah, it's like the internet like branched out but kind of missed some of those original pathways.
It's like a fork in the road.
Yeah.
And everybody went one way and nobody went the other.
Exactly.
So he's saying like, okay,
yeah.
there's this opportunity
Right.
to go back and kind of rebuild some of those things.
Yeah. Those joyful experiences.
Yeah, those like joyful,
Right. Yeah,
like you were talking to your friends.
Yeah.
You were having fun.
Yeah.
Right? And he sees the Friends tab as kind of
Yeah.
phase one of that.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
So this feed,
Yeah.
it's only going to show you stuff
Right.
from your friends.
Yeah.
Right. It's putting that connection.
Exactly. Right back and center. At the front. Yeah. Right. And they're saying, hey, there's more to come.
Yeah, there's going to be more features like this.
Yeah, more features like this coming down the pipe.
Yeah.
So I'm curious.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you think back to like early Facebook?
Yeah.
Was that what you used it for?
Yeah. Was that your main thing?
Yeah. Was that your main thing?
I mean, I definitely, yeah.
Before the algorithm took over?
Yeah, I think so. I think
Yeah.
before the algorithm took over, it was a lot more about just seeing what your friends were up to.
Yeah.
Like those really direct connections.
Yeah, just like, hey, what's going on?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And then it became something totally different.
Yeah. And then it became like this whole content consumption,
Yeah.
like machine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But which brings us to this really interesting tension,
Right.
Yeah.
Algorithm
versus intimacy.
Right. And Colin and Samir asked this.
Yeah, they asked a great question.
Really good question.
Yeah.
They were like, is the toothpaste out of the tube?
Yeah.
Like, have we gotten so used to these algorithms?
Yeah. Have we become so accustomed to these feeds?
That seem to know us better than we know ourselves.
Yeah.
That like, we don't even care
Yeah.
about seeing stuff from our friends anymore.
Right. Yeah.
Is that just like where we're at?
Is that just baked in now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Zuckerberg, I think he gives a pretty nuanced take on that.
Yeah, I think he does.
Right. He's like, look,
Yeah.
for finding stuff.
Yeah, for general content, for entertainment.
For entertainment, like the algorithms work.
Yeah. They're amazing.
They're really good.
Like, they're so good.
Right.
Yeah.
And he's not saying that the Friends tab is going to replace the news feed.
No, he's not saying it's going to replace it.
He's not saying that at all.
Yeah.
Right. But he does see a lot of value. Right. In having this like separate space.
Yeah.
Right. This dedicated area.
Yeah.
Just for friends.
Just for your friends. Yeah. Yeah.
It's not about like, oh, which one gets more usage.
Right. It's not about.
It's about like different kind of value.
Different kind of value. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's about like joy. It's about
a sense of joy and connection.
direct connection.
Yeah.
like you were saying. And he really believes that people want both.
Yeah.
Like they want that really great content.
Just compelling content.
Wherever it comes from.
Yeah.
But they also want those deep personal connections.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's interesting how he sees those more like intimate connections.
Right.
Like evolving, you know?
Yeah.
He's like, it's moving towards messaging a lot.
Right. It's moving to,
You know, DMs, group chats, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Right. But he also points out that there's that like in-between zone of groups and communities.
Right.
Yeah. That are all about like specific interests.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So I don't know, like where do you find the most meaningful connections online these days?
Yeah. I mean, that's a great question.
Yeah.
It is a really great question.
Is it through those like big algorithmic feeds?
Yeah.
Or is it in those like...
Or is it more curated?
More intimate spaces?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, personally, I think I get a lot more out of the curated spaces, like, you know, DMs, group chats, those kind of things.
Yeah, same here, for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's shift gears a little bit.
Yeah.
And talk about this concept of like cultural relevance.
Right.
And the creator economy.
Yeah.
Right? Because Zuckerberg said something really interesting.
He did.
In a Q4 2024 earnings call.
Yeah.
He was like, you know, I think Facebook needs to be more culturally relevant.
Yeah.
And his reasoning for that was all about the creators.
It was all about the creators, yeah.
Right. Oh, the people who were shaping culture online.
Yeah.
You're like, you know, it's kind of funny, but we have like over 3 billion people on this platform.
Yeah.
Spending tons of time.
Right.
But a lot of the like top creators don't see Facebook.
Don't see it as their primary home.
As their primary home.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
They're going elsewhere.
Yeah.
They're doing other things.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And he sees this as like...
He's like, but that's an opportunity.
A huge opportunity.
Huge opportunity.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Because we've got all these users.
Yeah. You've got billions of users.
Who want good content.
Looking for content.
Right.
Yeah.
And we've got a really good...
And Facebook already has a good...
like monetization
system. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it's like this.
So he's like, okay, we got to make Facebook
more
attractive to creators.
Yeah.
More appealing to creators.
Yeah. Because they're the ones who drive cultural relevance.
Right. It's this kind of shift from like traditional media to these creators being like, me.
The new tastemaker.
The new tastemaker.
Right.
Yeah.
And he even said, you know, more young people today want to be creators.
Yeah, than like traditional...
Well, like journalists.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Or like news anchors.
Like TV anchors.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a whole different landscape.
It's a whole different landscape.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because like...
Yeah.
The whole media landscape has shifted.
It has.
Right.
Yeah.
It used to be like local and physical.
Right. It was all about like your local newspaper.
Yeah.
Your local TV station.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now it's all about
online
communities.
Yeah.
Built around interests.
Around these shared interests.
Yeah.
And the internet has just like...
It's enabled all these like niche communities to flourish.
Like incredibly.
They mentioned the lacrosse network.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is like probably something that like
nobody would have ever heard of.
Yeah, they would had a very limited reach.
Yeah.
Before the internet.
Before the internet.
Yeah. And now they can connect with people all over the world.
It's amazing.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know, who are the people you follow online?
Yeah. Who are the people that you're like, man, they're really driving the culture forward?
Yeah. That you think are like...
Yeah.
Really relevant.
Culturally relevant.
You know?
Yeah.
Culturally relevant.
And where do they share their stuff?
Where are they?
Yeah.
Are they on Facebook?
Are they on Facebook?
Somewhere else.
Are they on YouTube? Are they on TikTok?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And you know, MrBeast has got some.
Oh yeah, he had some really
pretty strong opinions.
Interesting thoughts. Yeah.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
He did not mince words.
He didn't mince words.
No, he did not.
No.
About Facebook.
About Facebook. Yeah.
And what he thinks.
And what he thinks.
Needs to change.
Needs to change, yeah.
And one of his biggest things...
One of his biggest points was this whole thing about...
And he was really fired up about this.
Multi-language dubbing.
Multi-language dubbing, yeah.
Yeah, right.
He was explaining how YouTube...
Yeah, YouTube has this.
Has this system where creators...
Yeah.
Can upload...
Separate audio tracks.
Yeah.
in different languages.
Different languages.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So your video can be in like...
Right. So you can have your video in English.
Spanish.
But then you can also upload a Spanish audio track.
Like Portuguese.
A Portuguese audio track.
All these different...
Even French audio track.
Languages.
Yeah.
And he's like, this has been huge.
Yeah.
For my global reach.
He said it's been a game changer.
He's like, I'm reaching...
For his global reach.
So many more people.
Yeah, he's like, I'm reaching way more people.
Because of this.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And he's basically saying...
Yeah.
This is a huge problem on Facebook.
Yeah, he's like, this is a...
And Instagram.
Major
hurdle.
And all the meta platforms.
Yeah, for creators on all the meta platforms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because there's no easy way.
Yeah, there's no straightforward way to do this.
To, like, incorporate these dubs.
Right, yeah.
So you're severely limited.
And it really limits your ability to connect with a global audience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Which is, like, increasingly important these days.
Huge, yeah.
Yeah.
So his message was like, hey, Meta.
Yeah.
Get on this.
Yeah, he was like, you need to prioritize this.
This needs to be...
You need to fast track this.
Priority number one.
Yeah.
Right? Like, this is...
He was like, this is essential.
Yeah, this is essential.
And Zuckerberg actually seemed to agree.
He did.
He was like,
yeah, AI dubbing is going to be...
AI dubbing is going to be...
Crucial. Yeah.
And MrBeast even shared this experiment.
Right, he was like, I did this experiment where I used AI to dub my content into another language.
Yeah.
And it actually had a higher audience retention because it sounded like his actual voice.
It sounded like him.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And he's like, that's the future.
And his ultimate vision is to just upload a video once.
Yeah. Upload it once.
And have it AI dubbed.
Into like 100 languages.
Into dozens of languages.
Right.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
So beyond that.
Yeah, beyond that.
He also talked about
wanting a more seamless purchasing experience.
Yeah, he wants it.
In video.
At one click.
Yeah, he's envisioning something like
the Amazon.
One click buying, like on Amazon.
Right.
Where you can just buy something right from the ad.
Right. In the video.
In the video.
Without leaving.
Without ever leaving the video.
You know? Yeah. And Zuckerberg was like, yeah, that's tough.
He's like, yeah, that's a...
Technically, that's a challenge?
Complex technical challenge.
But he's like, we're working on it.
But he said it's something they're actively exploring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was really interesting, too.
Right.
That he pointed out.
Yeah.
That, like...
He said the monetization for...
Short-form video.
Short-form video on Facebook is really good.
On Facebook is like...
Surprisingly high.
Surprisingly high.
Yeah.
He's like, it's way better than some other platform.
He said it's like more than 2 times higher than other platforms.
Like way more.
Yeah.
And Zuckerberg basically confirmed that.
Yeah, he was like, yeah, we have a really robust system for ads and monetization tools.
Yeah, we've got a really good ad system.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But MrBeast made a really important point, I thought.
Yeah, he did.
You know?
Yeah. For creators.
He said, you got to take Facebook seriously.
Yeah, he's like, you got to take Facebook seriously.
Yeah.
You got to
You got to create content specifically for the platform.
Yeah, create content.
Yeah.
For the platform.
Because it has this huge user base.
Because it's got billions of users.
Yeah.
Right? Don't just repurpose stuff.
Yeah, don't just phone it in.
From other places.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he even said his own follower count went up a lot.
Yeah.
When he started taking it seriously.
Yeah, he started taking Facebook seriously. Yeah. So I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah.
What do you think?
What features are absolutely essential?
What do you think is essential for a platform?
For a platform to really thrive these days?
To really thrive these days,
yeah.
You know?
It's a crowded space.
A crowded landscape, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
What do they have to have?
Yeah.
To really capture attention?
Yeah. To really break through.
Yeah, it's a good question.
Right.
Yeah.
And this leads to another.
Right. This leads to another big question.
Really fundamental question.
Yeah.
Which is
what even is a Facebook video in 2025?
What is a Facebook video?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
What is that?
What defines that?
Right.
Yeah.
It's not as clearly defined as
Yeah, it's not like a YouTube video.
A YouTube video.
Or a TikTok.
Or a TikTok. Or an Instagram reel.
Or a reel, right.
Yeah.
Each of those has
Yeah, those have all developed their own kind of
their own thing.
Style and their own expectation.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So is it just short?
Yeah.
Visual.
Is it shorter?
You know.
Highly visual.
Language agnostic.
Language agnostic.
Kind of stuff.
Yeah.
You know, is that what works best?
Is that what works best? Or is there room for that?
Is there room for Longer form?
Longer form content. Yeah, that builds deeper connections and trust.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we've seen that with podcasts.
Yeah, like we've seen that with podcasts.
Right.
Yeah.
Like Joe Rogan.
Joe Rogan.
Theo Vaughn.
Theo Vaughn.
All these people.
All these people building these like...
Building huge audiences.
Yeah, these huge audiences.
Yeah.
That are like...
Yeah.
Super engaged.
Yeah. Through long-form content. Yeah.
Yeah.
So where does Facebook fit into all of this?
Yeah, where does Facebook fit into that?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Should they be focusing more on their connected TV apps?
Like, are they going to do more with, like...
Yeah.
The TV apps?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should they be integrating podcasting more seamlessly?
Are they going to do more with podcasts?
Yeah.
You know? And then there's this whole other question of, like...
Right.
You know, recreating
that feeling.
That feeling of, like...
Of, like, early Facebook.
Early Facebook, you know?
Where it was, like, kind of exclusive.
Like that.
And private.
That sense of, like...
You know.
Privacy and exclusivity.
Yeah, and...
Especially for, like, younger users who didn't experience that.
Yeah. Like, if you didn't experience that...
The initial iteration of Facebook...
Like, how do they even understand that?
Yeah, how do you recapture that feeling?
Yeah.
Yeah. How do you recreate that?
Of a more, like, curated and intimate space.
Yeah.
So let's zoom out for a minute.
Let's take a step back.
Yeah.
And look at Zuckerberg's broader vision.
And look at his big picture.
Yeah.
Vision.
For the future of how we communicate.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Because he talks about...
He talks about this evolution of human connection.
Yeah, the evolution of how we connect.
Yeah.
Through the lens of, like...
Yeah, through the lens of...
How information has traveled.
How information has traveled throughout history.
You know,
yeah.
He's like, okay, we had the printing press.
Yeah, we had the printing press.
We had radio.
Radio.
We had TV.
Television.
And now we've got the internet.
And now we have the internet.
Right.
Yeah.
And he sees that as like...
And he sees the internet as like the latest...
The next stage.
Stage in this evolution.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And obviously he played a pretty big role...
Yeah.
In shaping...
A pretty significant role in shaping how the internet has evolved.
Yeah, that part of it for sure.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But what's really interesting is his like long-term vision.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
He's talking about this...
This complete merge.
Like complete merge.
Of our physical and virtual worlds.
Of the physical and virtual worlds.
Yeah.
Through...
Augmented reality.
AR glasses.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And he's basically saying like, hey, look.
Right now.
Right now we have this.
We've got this like...
Small rectangle.
Little...
Phone
screen.
Yeah.
That's our window into this vast... digital world.
It's like a tiny window.
Yeah.
Into this massive...
It's a very limited window.
Digital world.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And he's like...
And he envisions a future where we have AR glasses.
With AR glasses.
Yeah.
It's like...
Where you can have holograms.
Holograms.
Yeah.
Digital content.
And digital content just like integrated into our surroundings.
Yeah, just all around us.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like integrated into our lives.
Yeah. And the possibilities for content creation are like huge.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be insane.
Because it's not going to be just software engineers.
Yeah.
Building this stuff.
Yeah. Anybody can be a creator.
Creators are going to be able to use AI tools.
Yeah.
To build these.
To build these like crazy experiences.
Yeah. These wild digital experiences.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he really emphasized this idea of presence.
Right.
Right.
That feeling of presence.
He's like AR.
AR and VR.